There's absolutely nothing you can grow in a garden that you cannot also grow on a patio. And to prove that, I'm going to grow the entire Gardenary Easy Gardening Kit right here on my patio using nothing but containers and potting soil. Welcome back, casual gardeners. You know I've got a big, beautiful garden, and I've even got chickens. But I'm also aware that there are people watching gardening videos who don't have any of that stuff, but you still want to grow food. So I thought I'd make this video, and probably a couple others beside, where we talk all about growing food on a patio or a porch, just anywhere there's adequate light. This is technically sponsored content because I've got these seeds from Gardenary's Easy Gardening Kit that we'll be using. So what we're looking at is I've got spinach, I've got arugula. It might be too warm this year for arugula. We'll find out. I've got some mixed lettuce, carrots, I've got radishes and peas. Now, nobody's mind is going to be blown that you can grow those in containers, but I also have cucumber seeds, zucchini seeds, bush beans, and some zinnias, because even Gardenary understands that if your garden can't be pretty, what is the point? So we're going to grow all of those on my patio this year. There literally is nothing you could not choose to grow on your patio, though. Do you want to grow a tree? In the summer, I have 2 trees on my patio. So let's talk about containers first. What containers can you use to grow on your patio? If you use ceramic containers like this one I picked up at an estate sale, you can just leave that out there all year, every year, and you're going to have an awesome container no matter what. And you don't have to worry about much of anything. You can also make a container out of wood. I've got some scrap wood planters right here that I made from 2x12 lumber and fence pickets. And those have been holding up really well. This is their 2nd year. There's no protective coating of any kind. So if you don't like plastic, ceramic or wood are going to be for you. I picked up, because I was like, I want something big to grow zucchinis in. So I picked up these storage totes at Costco. If you buy a plastic pot that is made for container gardening outdoors specifically, it will have been UV treated to stand up to sunlight. These storage totes have not been treated to deal with UV light. If I leave them out on my patio unprotected, they will break down over time. They'll probably be good all year this year, but they will not be good next year unless I protect them in some way. Now, if you do use a plastic container that's not made for growing things in, you'll notice that it lacks holes. So before you plant anything, you're going to want to put some holes in it. How many holes you put in there is kind of up to you. As long as you have adequate drainage, it's going to be fine. Another thing that we're going to want to consider before we get to work growing on our patio is that not all soils are created equally. You're going to go to your nursery or your big box store or sometimes even your grocery store, and you're going to see that there are different kinds of soil. Some of them are going to be labeled garden soil or raised bed soil. Those are intended to be used in combination with actual soil. So they are not a complete mix. Do not buy them to fill a container because you will have a bad time. If your bag is labeled potting mix, that means that it is a complete soil. It's going to be everything you need to grow your plants. Another consideration when we are growing in containers is that we will tend to need to water more frequently in a container than we do when we're growing in the ground. How often we need to water is going to depend on what our container is made of, what kind of soil we're using, and how hot it is, as well as what size the container is. I'm probably going to need to water this container twice as often as this container, even though they're made of the same stuff, because one container is just much, much bigger than the other. Because it's spring right now, I'm probably not going to have to water every day, but in the peak of summer, you might have to water daily, or if it gets really hot, twice a day. That's going to depend on your containers and your climate. Now, another consideration is because of all this watering, we might have to fertilize more often in containers than we do in the ground. Typically in my in-ground garden, I'm fertilizing once in the spring, and that's it. But in a container, because we've got all that extra water washing through and taking nutrients with it, and because we have less soil volume, we're going to need to add those nutrients back in. Luckily, fertilizer is super duper cheap. You can use either a water soluble fertilizer or a slow release fertilizer, or a combination of the two. That's going to be up to you. Now, despite only having these containers to grow in, I'm going to grow actually quite a bit of food. We're going to start with peas, and I'm just going to use my railing as a trellis. So I'm just going to space my peas about an inch or two apart and push them into the soil about an inch or two deep. Precision is optional here because, I mean, come on, guys. They're peas. They'll figure it out. Now, because I actually intend to build some furniture around these, I know I've got a deadline. I've got to get the furniture built and install my planters in the furniture before the peas are tall enough to start looking for things to grab onto and grow up. I planted these peas and these peas at the same time. I planted these ones first, but on the very same day, I planted these ones. The difference is I took these inside, and these, of course, I couldn't take inside because they are in the ground. And you can see these germinated a lot more rapidly. The ideal germination temperature for peas is between 60 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. This fluctuates because it's not air conditioned or heated. These guys in my house did not. These are looking like this because I just grew all my extra peas from the seeds I saved last year and said, I'm gonna feed these to my chickens. Hey girls, brought you some treats. Ho, how's that? Now I'm gonna treat both of these bigger containers the same way. Because I am planning to use these primarily for summer crops, this is a great place for me to slide in some radishes. So I'm going to define some little rows. Do radishes need to grow in a row? Absolutely not. Radishes have no conception of geometry in that way. But growing our crops in a row allows us to distinguish the seedlings we want from the seedlings we don't. I want it to be easy to see what's a weed and what isn't. Radish seeds are super easy to get planted and germinated. You do typically want to thin them, and they tend to have a really high germination rate, so I'm taking them pretty sparsely down the rows here because I don't love thinning plants. And I'm not squeamish about offing the seedlings, but you know, it's work, and I'm a casual gardener. I tend to plant about a 1/4 inch deep. You can probably go deeper. I wouldn't go a lot deeper, and shallower you're going to have trouble with soil contact, so don't do that. Now, I don't cover anything over until I'm done planting. I'm going to put a row of carrots in this as well. And the carrots are just going to grow alongside whatever summer crops I plant in here. All right, we're going to do a single row of carrots right here. Carrots are an example of something that in my part of the world is easier to grow in a container than it is to grow in the ground because I have dense clay soil. And carrots don't do great in that. You get some gnarly carrots. I always have to thin carrots. Just assume you're going to have to thin carrots. All right, this is full up, and I'm just going to cover everyone over. Now that I've got carrots in here, I am committed to watering at least once, possibly twice a day until I get germination. Carrots are not my favorite thing to grow. If this were a proper spring with proper rain, I'd probably be more excited about it. Now, the nice thing about spinach, lettuce, and arugula is that they're either going to bolt before the main growing season, or I can sneak a few picks out and then thin them to make room for other crops. So these are just going to go in all of my remaining space. Let's throw some lettuce here. I'm going to thin this to spaced at 6 inches. So I can be pretty sparse in how I plant. I'm going to do 7. Shoot for 7 plants here. Oh, here comes the neighbor cat to extract his love tax. Now you always want to plant lettuce as shallowly as you can because it will not germinate without light. Oh, and let's bury my peas now as well. Grow now or forever hold your peas. Let's throw some arugula in. I've already said that I don't have actual high hopes of getting a rocket harvest this season because it's so warm. It's so warm and so dry. It's gonna be weird. This I'm gonna grow a little bit closer together. I'm probably gonna get like a few plants per row because I'm gonna start harvesting baby arugula right away, just so I get something. Now with your pea seeds, you want to just plant all your peas in the spring every year and either buy or collect new seeds. But arugula seeds should save for a couple seasons, so I don't have to feel bad about not using them all. And I hope the spinach does all right. It is such a great source of iron and calcium and nutritious goodness. I've been actually growing lettuce all season long, like through the winter, because I have a greenhouse. You can also grow lettuce in containers indoors. And honestly, spinach too. So there's no reason you can't always be growing fresh salad all year long, unless, I guess unless you don't have space for it. That's a legitimate reason. Now, just to give you an idea of how much we have planted, because we've planted quite a bit, I'm going to be growing enough greens just here on my patio to harvest all the lettuce and spinach and rocket I need every week for salad, like a lot of salad. I'm going to be eating roast radishes. I'm going to be loving life. And because those are all short season spring crops, I'm going to have plenty of room when the time comes for my zucchinis, cucumbers, and bush beans. If you are interested in picking up an easy gardening kit from Gardenery, I'm going to include a product link down in the pinned comment below. They are a really great product in addition to getting your seeds, which I think is worth the value of the package by themselves. You also get videos that take you through detailed growing instructions for each and every crop that you can grow with the kit, as well as I think they've got a raised bed instruction video if you wanted to build a raised bed somewhere. There's all sorts of stuff. There are charts that you can use to figure out your plant spacing if you wanted to grow like mixed crops in a bed. Tips and tricks to get you started in gardening. So this again is technically a sponsored video, but the idea to make this entirely a container garden was my own. Let me know in the comments what is your favorite thing for growing in containers on a patio. Thank you so much for joining me here on my patio today. Hope you have a wonderful time in your own garden.